guys, so today I thought I'd bring you a little bit of a general reading update. Unfortunately, I haven't read enough books to do a batch review. Been kind of slow at reading over the past week or so just because the new Pokemon game came out and it kind of took over my life for a little bit, but I've beat it already, even though it just came out on Friday. Also, apologies for the lighting. It's dark out despite the fact that it's only like 5 o'clock at night. I didn't film all weekend because the lighting was really terrible. It was really like gross and gloomy and like rainy all weekend, which was terrible, but at least it got rid of the snow. So yeah, unfortunately I'm going off of lights around me, which is kind of causing weird shadows. But anyways, getting on with it. So one of the books I'm reading is Island by, and I'm gonna butcher this first name, Aldous Huxley, who wrote Brave New World. I picked this up, I think her name is Cosette. She mentioned this in her bookshelf tour that this was really good. And I'm about, how far into it am I? 128 pages out of like 350-ish. So this is the one that I'm mostly focusing on trying to get done. It is a utopian as opposed to a dystopian. I'm really enjoying it so far, but it is a bit of a slow read. Yeah, so that's one I'm working on. Another one I am reading / reread. I have reread The Hobbit this week because I actually have to study this for class, which I'm really excited about. That starts this week, and next week I get to study this for my one fantasy literature class. I also get to study it for another fantasy literature class next semester, so I'll be doing lots of Hobbit reading. I've reread this like a million times. I own like 5 copies. Yeah. On the same vein, I am reading J.R.R. Tolkien's On Fairy Stories, which is in this copy of Tree and Leaf, which also contains Mythopoeia and The Homecoming of Beornoth. I think I just butchered that. Some of his other writings. I am reading this because both of my fantasy literature profs recommended reading On Fairy Stories by Tolkien as an introduction to looking critically at fantasy and looking critically at high fantasy. So if that's something you're interested in, I think it's about 100 pages, give or take. So I'm just, where am I? Like 20, I'm about a quarter of the way in. I'm enjoying it so far, but it is an essay, so it's a bit slow going. One that I have finished, which is a graphic novel, Black Widow, The Finely Woven Thread by Marvel. This was lent to me by my friend Christine. We watch a lot of the Marvel movies and she thought I'd really like this. I don't think I'm a big comic book fan. Don't get me wrong, I love graphic novels. The superhero genre, as much as I love like movies like Captain America and Thor, I've tried reading the comics and I just don't think it's for me. But yeah, this was pretty good. If you are curious about Black Widow, I would recommend checking this out. The artwork's pretty gorgeous. It looks really nice. It's full color. This is the bind up. I think they do bind ups for like the first few issues. I don't know how it works. Honestly, I'm not. The only comics I read are Lumberjanes, which, yeah. But yeah, so that was good. And I also started reading Vanished Kingdoms, The History of Half-Forgotten Europe by Norman Davies. I've just gotten through the introduction at this point. This is this nice new Penguin editions of history books that have like the orange in the middle and the white on the outside. I have a few of these and I quite like these. This is the first in a while for me. I haven't read a lot of like history books, which sounds weird because I'm a history major. But reading history for fun is not something you do when you're studying it, and because this year I don't actually have a lot of history courses, I've felt a lack of and wanting to read history things, but just excitement about the fact that I can choose what I want to read. One of the things I find as a history major is I tend to read a lot of articles and a lot of primary sources on like really focused things. I'm a microhistorian myself, so I focus on history. If you don't know what microhistory is, it's basically history from the ground up, whereas macrohistory in comparison is history from like the top down. So it looks at like big people and like large events. So microhistory tends to look at like really, really close things, You know, it looks at peasants, it looks at, you know, it's more of a social history, which is what I tend to write about and what I tend to research about. But it's honestly, sometimes it's really nice to read a macro history, like a large overall narrative, and it's just kind of nice to distance myself a bit from my research and read something that's, you know, a little outside of my norm. So yeah, so I've been really enjoying that so far. So that is what I am reading recently. Let me know in the comments below what you guys are reading recently. Oh, I'm also listening to a couple audiobooks. I always forget to mention these in my videos because they're not, like, I don't have a physical copy of them, but I'm reading, I think it's How to Be a Woman or How to Build a Woman by Caitlin Moran. I have a subscription to Audible, so I just picked that up. I also picked up Bad Feminist by Roxane Gay, but I haven't started that yet. And I'm also still listening to The Iliad as narrated by Dan Stevens. That one's really slow going. Honestly, I've kind of lost it for a little bit. I think I'm gonna pick it up in the new year. I was about 30% through, I think. But it's slow going. It's a slog for that one. But yeah, so that is what I have been reading recently. So let me know in the comments below what you guys are reading. Do you guys have any big plans for the Christmas break? I will be doing some shopping videos, like Christmas gift guides, coming up soon, basically once December hits. So like next week I'll be doing like one a week for different people, and I'm looking forward to that. So I will see you guys later on in the week with another video. Bye.